Well, it's like July 10th. I'm gonna do a garden update. So I've talked to other people in the area that grow corn and they've had the same issues. Giving it plenty of water, plenty of nitrogen, and still it was browning up really bad. And the ears of corn are tiny and barely growing. See, there's one there. They're just real small. And the grasshoppers are taking their toll on everything. So the whole corn crop, all 6 rows, I'm gonna consider it a failure. Not good. Don't know what happened. Look at that guy, really bugs me. Sweet potatoes, they actually did well. I dug down and there's some good sized sweet potatoes, but we're only at 82 days. Still got about another week to go before we harvest these, and I'll get a video out on that. Watermelon crop, I'm gonna call that a failure as well. We've got some really strange shaped watermelons, and that could be caused from water issues, unevening water patterns, or I don't think it'd be heat stress. They love the heat. But, you know, we planted 200 and some odd watermelon plants, and I think we've got 6 watermelons so far. They're just not growing well. And their color is off. It's the craziest thing. Our cantaloupes have done okay, but again, their color's off. And I'm not sure why the colors are so weird on these. It wasn't like that last year. Let's get over and take a look at the other cantaloupes. So you can see they're just, the color's just weird on them. Now we've harvested quite a few, probably about 25 to 30 so far. And they've been sweet, but not like they should. They're not really rich sweet. They're just, you know, they've got some basic sweetness to them. So I don't know what happened with this crop either, but it wasn't like last year where they were very prolific and we had just tons. So I'm gonna call this a failure as well. Even though we've got some and we've eaten some and we've sold quite a few, they're just not up to par. And we had cucumbers here. They were all crap. You know, we got a few. I must have planted, I don't know, 10 to 15 cucumber plants, and we only got a few out of each plant, and they just weren't that great. This was all the zucchini and the yellow zucchini and the sunburst, or I forget what they call those round ones, yellow round ones. They did really well. They liked it here. They grew. They were prolific. We got a lot of fruit from them. Down here was the buttercup, the butternut, squashes, and some volunteer pumpkins. They did okay. The buttercup were the best. They really took off and gave us a lot of fruit. There's a tiny little one right there. Little tiny one, just hanging on. And there's a couple butternuts. We've harvested, you know, 90% of it already. These are just whatever's left over. So they did all right. Peppers, we got lots of jalapenos, serranos. These are mini bell peppers, real tiny little guys. We got a lot of those, but after growing them, it's like, what do you do with them? They're just tiny little peppers. See if we still got some jalapenos on here. The wife's been harvesting and canning them. There's some. Oh, there's a good one. They grew pretty big this year. There's some more. Yep. As far as tomatoes go, our large tomatoes, all the Romas were a failure. They all got this blossom end rot right away. These big ones were doing okay until they got to a certain stage, then they got the blossom end rot. I think those are the better boys. Oops. Our green peppers, the bell peppers, they didn't grow very big. They were small. Let's get around here. So this is where our Romas were. They're all pulled up now. And then we had Ruby Crush cherry tomatoes. They did really good. As you can see, there was a lot of them. We pulled those up though because the blister beetles were just eating the hell out of the plants. And it was just too much. There was just too many beetles, so we had to pull the plants up. But we did get thousands of little cherry tomatoes from them. They did okay till the pests came. And these are, apologies, I don't remember what tomatoes these were. But see, they're green, they're doing okay. They don't end up with the blossom end rot. Oh, look, grasshopper. I like catching them and feeding them to the chickens. Let's do that. Let's give this one to the chickens. Who's hungry? Who wants a grasshopper? Get it. Oh, yeah. Oh, you let it go. All right, you got it? Num, num, num. Look at that thing. Grasshopper. All the herbs bolted way too fast. We got hardly any foliage from them. They just bolted. And I talked to a guy who works for a supermarket chain who buys produce, and he said a lot of the produce growers are having issues with all their peppers and cilantro and stuff not doing well this year. So this was filled with basil. It just bolted. It bolted way too fast, like this right here. You'd get some leaves and then all of a sudden it would just bolt. Oh, look, grasshoppers, what do you know? And we didn't get any really good harvest out of any of the herbs. But one thing you can always count on is asparagus. So if you remember, we planted 1-year-old crowns this spring. Here they are. We let them come up and start to fern out, and they're doing good. So next year they'll come up and we'll just let them grow again. We'll let them go right to fern and get stronger. And then the year after that, we'll be able to start harvesting. There's one right there. But at least these made it. So last year we had no peppers and tomatoes because we had 3 straight months of 100-degree or more days, and the heat just took its toll. So this year I built and erected these shade cloths. This is 70% shade cloth. And then the frames, this is a real simple system. This is just metal conduit, 3/4 inch. I got at Lowe's. They come in 10-foot sections. They're about $10 a piece. And then these corner connectors, you can get these. These are pretty inexpensive. And you can make these any size you want. And then you get these little elastic connectors for the shade cloth. And I'll tell you what, it made a huge difference. The tomatoes and peppers actually produced fruit. You know, if we got to it before the bugs ate it, that's another story. But the shade cloth made a big difference. And from now on, I will always cover our tomatoes and peppers here in Texas with shade cloth. These are 8x16, this one here. And then I did some 10x20s since the poles come in 10-foot sections, it just made more sense to buy the bigger cloths, the bigger shade cloths. And the guineas enjoyed the shade cloth as well. They like to hang out under the tomato plants this summer. Found a couple eggs in here too. So I guess all in all, this year wasn't that great. We did get some tomatoes and lots of squash. So it wasn't like we starved to death. But the corn isn't going to do anything, and we'll have lots of sweet potatoes. And one of our neighbors had a family friend show up, 11-year-old. He's going to come over and help me process all the garlic that we dug up in one of our last videos. So we're going to go do that. What are you doing, Jayce?
Peeling garlic.
Peeling garlic. Having a good time, huh?
Yeah.
Show them how you peel garlic.
Okay, I will here in a second. That was happening.
All right, Jayce, how do you peel garlic? How do you process it? So this garlic's been in here drying for 3 weeks.
First, you gotta get it, and then you gotta cut it about an inch or so.
Yep.
Inch, and then you gotta pull out the garlic heads. It's like garlic tails, whatever that is.
Roots.
Roots. And you cut it off, and then you just peel the dirt off, the black stuff, and then when you get all that, just put it in the bucket.
Nice work. Well, 3/4 of a bucket of garlic. Not bad. Jayce did quite a bit of work on that.
Yep.
Well, we got it.